So if anybody's wondering why when you read the manual it says change the oil every 6 months and then change the filter once a year, I'll show you the reason why. So I've gone about 6 months on this oil, and I'm going to start it up, and then I'll show you the temperature gauges and also the pressure gauge so you can see what's going on as this oil starts to break down. Alright, right now I'm at about 89, 88 degrees C. But what we run into is after running down the road, you can see my oil pressure has dropped down to about a little under 0.1 MPa. You can see when I rev it up, it still goes up. So because the oil's gotten older, it breaks down over time from the heat. And then also you get fuel and things, you know, from the carburetors, because these old carburetors might leak every once in a while. And I'm running 20W50 in it, so my pressure ought to be a lot higher with new oil, but that oil's gotten older. So as you can see, when you're sitting on idle, that your oil pressure drops down quite a bit. That's going to be pretty tough on that motor if you're getting stuck at idle and it's hot like it is right now. So time for my oil change, and having the low pressure is one of the main reasons why that I change mine out every 6 months. I do it right before it's super hot, and then I also do it in the fall when I winterize it. So I change my filter in the fall, and then I just change the oil in the middle of the summer. So we'll get set up and we'll change our oil, and then we'll fire it up, take a ride around, get the temperature right about the same, and then we should see the higher oil pressure from the new oil, and then it'll work its way back down as the oil starts to break down again in the next 6 months. Alright, so let's get our oil changed. We got us a 19 millimeter. Alright, so we got our oil changed. Now we'll go for a ride, heat the bike back up, and we'll see what our oil pressure looks like. Alright, so we can see that if we're just at our 6 month mark on our oil changes, and if we waited say a year before we change the oil, I'd say that pressure would be even lower. So we're able to get the pressure up just a little bit higher, makes things just a little bit happier. So I think that's one of the reasons why they suggest doing a 6 month oil change and then once a year changing the filter. The filter's not going to get that dirty in 6 months, but the oil tends to break down. So there we go. One of the reasons why we need to keep the oil changed in these bikes and keep them on the road for a little bit longer. Well, alrighty. Well, thanks for watching.